Yeah. how's it going? Let's get ready to rock and roll. Hello, welcome back to Saturday night. You may have heard it's Romhack races. You may have heard we got fresh Super Mario World Kaizo levels. Nobody's ever seen them before. You've never seen them before, and the racers have never seen them before. Except our testers did check them out, so they have seen them before. But we're gonna all check this out together and sort of run to the end. You know how we do it. Sight reading, consistency, and one-shots are going to win the day. We have a lot of friendly people hanging out, ready to race, and yourselves in chat. Thanks for being a part of it. We're just about ready to start, so I'll forego the normal intro here, but I'll let you know that you can check out romhackraces.com to get the patch for this, exclamation leaderboard in chat, and check out all the work that we do, and jump on the Discord over in romhackraces.com, exclamation leaderboard, brought to you, of course, by D to the 4th over on Patreon, D to the 4th on Patreon, and we got testers and scouts and Dr. No, of course, behind the scenes helping us out. It's nice to see everybody. Hello, I'm GlitchCat. You might remember me. I used to stream. I've taken a little break, but I'm hanging out here with everybody tonight. I'm glad to be here. It's good to see you. I hope, in a manner of speaking, but I hope your week has been nice, restful, relaxing, and we got a level from Shoujo tonight. I should have mentioned sooner. Shoujo, recent partner Fennel defeater, has made us a level for 164, week 164, Rough Around the Edges is the name of the level, and if I got time, I'll give you the difficulty breakdown too. I don't know if I'm going to make it in time. I got to click into where it has the announcement here. I'm discombobulated today, but in a good way. Longest section, 5 out of 10. Hardest trick, 4 out of 10. Execution, 5 out of 10. So 5 out of 10 down the middle. Hoping for some one-shots and some good consistency. We got Seokadelic, we got Muzzle, we got You Fail Me, and Fenrir Wolf ready to start us off. Me, thank you, thanks for asking. I've been fine. I feel good. Just getting some time to rest. And now it's time to run. So let's have a good race. Good luck, have fun. It's Yoshi. Get your best Shoujo Yoshi emote arrives in chat, and let's see what we got here today. In the interest of fairness, I did test this one. I did help rate this one. So this time I do know what we're in for. But we shall see. You Fail Me. Wow, right off the bat with those big shell jumps. First thing here, back shot shell jump into the on-off switch that you see situated up in the wall up there. That's going to open the gate, and then pulling the shell up as the kicking Koopa is about to kick it to steal the yellow shell and use it for a shell jump. You Fail Me, no stranger to this kind of item abuse stuff. This is a great level with really cool flow. We've got the upward vertical scroll going on. You've seen this in like Grand Poo World 2 and other escape sequence kind of levels where it's just the auto scroll is just going to be moving up like that all the time. Keeps the racers on their toes and keeps them moving quickly. It also does a really good job controlling the spawn of different enemies. That like nothing is going to spawn in at a bad moment. Because the level is moving kind of on rails. You Fail Me here in the lower left. Ouch! Ooh. You Fail Me taking a little death there, but they know what to do. So we're climbing up, grabbing the grab block there. You Fail Me's got the grab block and spinning on those ball and chains in order to open the gate. You Fail Me in the lower left with the most progress right now. Well, it's both. It's one of those Alice in Wonderland things. It's going up and coming down at the same time. Mad Hatter Tea Party style. It's all wobulous. And, of course, it's all wobulous over at Professor Pete's Pizza Planetarium, but that's another story. Ender of Games in the upper right. Looking for the double. Last week they won it, and looking for the double maybe tonight. RB Pimlico in the upper left. Got good progress from folks. I've seen the most from You Fail Me so far. It is consistency that's really going to help out with this level. It's these sections are kind of tight. The movement is kind of tight. And being able to just lock in what you already have learned is going to be huge. Here goes You Fail Me, up a lower left. Nice with the one hit. Oh, trying the shell jump with the spin. But you can't spin jump with the shell unless you have motor skills. So You Fail Me learning that they need a way to reset the spin there because they were surfing on the saw. Gosh, I'm looking for a challenger right now. You Fail Me really ripping this up. RB Pimlico, though. Yeah, making it to the on-off switch. Good progress. Yo, RB Pimlico actually with a shot right now. Those little teeny tiny spike jumps. I like them. I do like them. They keep you. I don't know. I hate to lean on this phrase too much tonight, but it keeps you on your toes. I've been using some stuff like that and stuff that I've been building too. It's just like a little incidental spike. Like why not? You know, make them jump. Make them work for it. We got Nathan MG trying their luck in the lower right hand corner. RB Ender, you fail me, and Nathan right now. Nobody with a massive lead. Hey, thank you so much. What's up? What's up to everybody in chat too? It's good to see you. Good to be back here in the commentator booth, so to speak. I missed y'all. I missed everybody. We're here now together, though. You know, I'm trying to think if I've seen. Is this the first Shoujo level that we've gotten to see? 'Cause this is really. I was impressed by this when I played it earlier, and if this is the type of stuff Shoujo is gonna make, Shoujo hack when. You fail me though. Back up at this grinder surf. Let's see what they do on their second try. Nice. Ooh, very nice. 2 tries on that, and they managed to land. They scooted themselves forward and landed on that empty space next to the grinder. That breaks the spin. First, it isn't Mario Maker. Word. Yeah, I can imagine she would have made some stuff in Mario Maker. RB Pimlico. Oh, look out. Maybe they had a chance to learn there. Making a little bit of progress, though. It's You Fail Me versus RB Pimlico right now for progress. You Fail Me with those nice shell jumps. That's the way to do it. It's really nice. They just like even out their momentum in the air. You notice when You Fail Me goes up for that shell jump, they basically try to zero their motion and not sway in either direction. They're just very parallel. You want to make this like nice parallel line with the wall. Oh, yo, RB Pimlico. Making it to the shell, same place. RB and You Fail Me now tied. Yo, what up? Halcyon. Yo, look out for the upper right corner. Halcyon, big moves right now. Oh, yeah, look out. Oh, ooh. Halcyon abusing the fact that the bubbling top of the lava there, where it's animated, that part doesn't actually really exist. It's not really a threat. It doesn't hurt Mario. You can kind of stand in it a little bit, and in some cases you can even sort of swim in it if it's on a ceiling. But you have a little bit more space in that moment. Here goes Halcyon again. Yeah, see that, taking advantage of the hot feet. And now Halcyon in the upper right on the best run right now. Super far out. What are you going to... Ooh. Ah. Nice try, nice try. Yeah, I'm interested about this Shoujo Shoved collaboration. It's a tongue twister. You fail me. Better get the moves on. Halcyon here is getting consistent. RB Pimlico with a shot at it. Yo, you failed me too. Oh, look at the sync right now. Oh, there was a sync. I like this level because it's frantic. You're going right from one thing to the next thing, and as much as sometimes as we've seen the vertical climb, I really like it. I think it's a motif worth leaning into. Because it makes these fun, frantic, one thing leads into the next thing levels really, really well. Here goes Halcyon in the upper right. Made it. And Halcyon is into the boss. Let's go. I like this one. I like this one a lot. This is a good boss. I had fun with it when I played it. I think you can see how this is going to work. Shell jumping up to the top there in order to hit the Resnors as they're flying around in their platform. Nice pink-colored Resnors. I like that. They look happy. They look happy to be around. You know, they're doing good work today, trying to take down Halcyon. the hitboxes for those flames are a little bit smaller than you might think. So you might see a little bit of weird magic where one might pass through Mario's head or something. Halcyon, though, looks like they're making pretty short work of this. Here goes RB Pimlico in the upper left. And You Fail Me in the door. We got a battle. This is great. This is great. We got a battle now for the win. RB Pimlico trying to make it 3. It's Halcyon versus You Fail Me. I like this fight. There's nothing. It's like there's nothing to it, but there's everything to it. Halcyon with a try. Can they get it? Oh, look out. This could be it for Halcyon. They did it. Nicely done. Nicely done. Good shell jump skills. Nicely done. Nicely done. I missed the midair. Oh, do we get a midair? Lovely. And yo, Halcyon's gonna take it. You know, I tested this earlier today. I tested this level to get a rating for it to help out, and I did it as though it were a real race because I just wanted to see how my time would rack up with Halcyon's, and we were about even. So GG. I was just curious to see how that would go. GG Halcyon. We got Louis Duce in the upper right. You Fail Me looking for second on that boss. RB and Nathan. I said I would say they're working on the first section, but tonight it's the only section. Really good sub 10 though tonight from Halcyon. Good work. Good consistency. Yeah, I didn't time my own run on this down to the second with a timer, but I had 8 minutes and some change, which was just about what Halcyon got. So I was just curious. I haven't played all week, so I was curious to see how it would do. You Fail Me. Not today though. You Fail Me with the incredibly respectable. I'm sitting here talking about sub 10 as though 10 is not impressive. Nah. Great job. You Fail Me with the very good 10-minute clear. Louis Duce looking to make it third place. That was very close to a sub 10. Here goes, ooh, Louis. Spent a little bit too much time on that thwimp up there. Yo, give it up again, Shoujo tonight. Our maker. You can go and follow her on Twitch. She's streaming all kinds of fun Mario stuff all the time. And is a very, very nice person. We got RB, we got Louis Duce, Misha Vargas, Nathan, MG. Also, like, how are y'all doing? How's your week? Feel like I haven't really gotten to say hey at all. Super cozy? I love to hear it. Love to hear it. That warms my heart. Next week, we're just going to have Super Cozy World, where nothing bad happens, everybody wins. You don't have to fight anything, you don't have to do it. It's cozy. It just fits right in. Nice cozy game. And it's not like ironically cozy, it just is cozy. Here goes RB Pimlico. Upper left-hand corner of your television set. Yo, in there. And RB's going to go on for the boss. I love how everybody tries the same thing. And I tried the exact same thing when I tested this as well. They all try to throw the shell up first. And then the light bulb, I see you have to actually shell jump with it. Yeah, that sounds like a good Saturday night too, Chon. Cheers. Yuri Densetsu, though, yo, the challenger. The challenger for third place, RB versus Yuri Densetsu. I like this fight, too, because, you know, being just primarily shell jumps and improvisation, watching out for the fire and stuff, it rewards players who know how to do more than just, I guess, what you would call a full shell jump. In the same way that there are controlled jumps and maybe controlled bail off of Yoshi or something, there are also controlled shell jumps. If you cut the angle of your jump lower, then your corresponding shell angle can be lower, and you can do like a low jump shell jump and a shell jump with like a wider angle if the shell has more time to rebound. You could do a lower rebound off the shell and a bigger angle. There's actually a lot of like subtlety that you can have. That may not as much as something like Cape with the amount of angles and timings and things, but there is like an amount of jump trajectories you can get off of a shell jump. And like once you learn the basic kind of stand there and do the full height shell jump, then you can get on to doing it in a little bit more of a controlled way. And that fight greatly rewards this. Louis Duce in there for the boss as well. 3 looking for 3rd right now. You fail me, though. Already done rating us. Thank you. I hope you're doing great. And great job. Great job on the race tonight. Who's it going to be? RB Pimlico, almost. Last one. And the vanilla Reznor fight, yeah, you'd see the floor disappearing. This is a little bit of a custom Reznor. A lot has been done. It's actually always surprising to me how much has been done with Reznor, and still it's just the same essential Reznor that spins around. RB Pimlico, done spinning though. Nice job. Well-earned 3rd place. Sub 15. Great work. Great job. Yeah, it would appear that those are 6. Yeah, actually. Where in the normal game it's, what, 4? It's been so long since I've looked at the normal game. I don't even, like... There are 5. Okay, 5. Wait. There are 5 in this one, but 4 in vanilla. Okay. All right. It's tripping me out over here. Yuri Densetsu, done. Big win. Nice job. This pen is royal blue. Yo, I gotta say again, I'm looking forward to the Shoujo Shovda collab of Rumor, because this is some really fun level design. Fast and action-y, but like quick and readable. I like that about it. 4-7 levels ago. Man, 4 Reznor would be a lot. But I'm always so impressed at like all the things people have managed to do with Reznor to make it interesting, because it has that one exact behavior. Like it spins around. They are Reznors on a platform and they spin around and shoot fire at you. That is what they do. And yo, Louis Duce. Uh-oh. Louis Duce looking for some cheese. The classic vanilla strat. Oh my gosh, is he going to pull it off with this? Getting up on the Reznor platform. Oh geez, gotta finish it, Louis. No, nicely done, showing off a little bit. But people have managed to do, nice job. Louis Duce with the cheese. Very well done. I'll give some cool points for that. I feel like Louis's cool point bank account might be a little bit heavy, so I'll give him 5. 5 cool points. He knows where he can get more. He kind of has can mine them. Nicely done. But seriously, all the custom bosses that show up in Kaizo actually kind of blow my mind. And like the code is one thing. Obviously, there's amazingly impressive code. Silent Snake here in the upper right-hand corner of your TV. But it's honestly, it's the code, but it's also just the fact that enough people have figured out something interesting to do with that exact same concept. Reznor just spins around. That's all. And somehow we've managed to come up with an infinite variety of interesting situations and things that you can do with that using some custom code. Every single time I think I've seen every single possible Reznor, Wendy, Big Boo, I'm always surprised by something new. It seems to never end. And that's what's really impressive to me. It's just how much utility we've managed to get out of very, very simple bosses. Because let's face it, SMW, well, SMB2 is one thing, but SMW doesn't really have great bosses. They're okay. Being a tech demo for the Super Nintendo, the bosses are there to show off particular things, the scaling, the stretch and pull, you know, different things that the engine can do. They're all right, you know, but they're not that good. Even and honestly, even compared to some other bosses from games of that era, right? So the fact that people can come up with cool stuff to do with that is remarkable. We've beat Nintendo, everybody. We're done. We won. We win the game. Yo, MacFly, thank you so much for the resub. Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah. Sorry, I just now saw that question in chat. Yeah, the shell will just go through the platform. It won't actually hit the platform. Although, there have been instances of custom Resnors where they did have the platform active in that way. It's just another one of the weird little things that people can change up about Resnor. Has anyone made a fishing boo that has a Resnor on its fishing line? Cause that would be cool. You know, honestly, I bet someone has. I bet I thought of that because I saw it in some other game and then forgot about it. You don't understand. This was like all I do. Is I just sit around and think of plausible and evil ideas for Super Mario World. I just make a hobby out of it. We got Germ Dove here hanging out racing though. We got Muzzle. We got Misha Vargas, Ender of Games. Looking for, I believe, 5th right now? Exclamation leaderboard in chat to find out. Yo, Muzzle looking for big progress, upper right. Ooh, couple jumps away. Let's go. Do those regrabs. Yeah. Muzzle is in there. Trying to hit the Resnors. Everybody tries. I appreciate that. We're not all that different. You know, some people like different tech, some people like different aesthetics, but one thing I've learned from watching this many Romhack races is we're not really all that different. A lot of most players are pretty similar. Get right down to it. We're all Kaizo players, man. Muzzle looking to fight this boss. Germ Dove, Misha, Ender looking to get to the boss. Yeah, you know, meta chips. I think definitely, you know, gaming, Kaizo design, game design, level design. As video games went on historically, we understood more of these like principles of game design. Things like, well, you want to like teach your player how to do the thing you want and then challenge them to apply the knowledge. And you know, you don't want to make your player jump into situations where they can't, you know, see what's coming up. And, you know, lots of, like, mistakes were made along the way. You know, quote-unquote bad games or games that tried something experimental and didn't really hit it off. Like how Bubsy 3D is a really good game but just doesn't need tank controls. There, I said it. It's a fine game, just doesn't need tank controls. But as we learned these things, what we uncovered, right, was eventually this nice philosophy of game design, and now we can have all these big heady talks about game design philosophy and stuff because we had this conversation, you know, throughout the ages in gaming. And really, I have a hunch that what we've uncovered when we look at how to make a good game, the rules of making, you know, good design and how it works and stuff, what we've uncovered is like certain things about how people in general like react to these kinds of situations in games. You know, just that like most things are oriented, you move left to right on the screen. That's the same way you read, right? Or maybe the Japanese would want more more right to left or other orientations, right? Or just like how like stage position, like stage left is the dominant or stage right, whatever. You know what I mean? How like the audience looks at left to right the way we read. There's like certain things like that about how people react and view these kinds of things that are common to all people. And we haven't necessarily figured out the rules of good game design as much as we have figured out like how people in general react to these kinds of things. Is it left or right? Okay, yeah, I was a little unclear about that. I know there are. I'm sorry. There is a language that reads in the other direction, and I was incorrect about that. My bad. Is it Chinese that reads left to right? I'm saying there is a language that does that. Right to left. Okay, I don't know. I got my signals crossed. My bad. Don't listen to me. It might be obvious that Glitchcat does not know how to read Japanese. I was trying to hide this fact from you, but somehow I gave myself away. Muzzle, yo, nice job. Defeating the Reznor, the Rosdower. Nice job. Also, yo, thanks once again for hanging out. Saturday night Romhack races with us. I really appreciate it. Nice to just chill with everybody. I hope you're having a lovely time. It's germed of Seokadelic, Misha Misha Vargas, Ender of Games. It is going very well. Attack the Moon. I hope it's going well with you. Hanging out, you know, as we tend to do. But yeah, you know, talking about like level design, it's like a good rule of level design is like, okay, you want the important stuff in your level and in your game to kind of like highlight itself, right? Like if the environment is gray, make the indicator blue or something, you know, or pink so it stands out, or yellow. You know, the coins pop out really well. And like, yeah, that's like the rule of good game design. And why is it the rule of good game design? Like, I mean, granted, I'm not like I don't know the neuroscience behind it and stuff, because like that's how people tend to notice things, right? Like biologically, we notice the different color or the pattern of blocks that indicate things. And it's like discovering what good game design is like a process of just like figuring out how people generally tend to work at all and then playing to that, you know, to give them a kind of a surprising experience. Traditional Japanese is actually top to bottom. Most modern Japanese is left to right, like English. Interesting. I don't know where I got it in my head that it was right to left. I'm sorry. That's a misconception on my part. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, when it's top to bottom, it does go right to left. Okay, okay. There's the technicality. I see you've played Knifey Spoony before. I see. I think it was something. I'm trying to recall. This was a minute ago. I got to dig this out of my brain bank. It was a film course, a German film course in college, and we talked about how like different cultures that read different ways or like have different scripts, like prioritize different areas of the screen. So like if there were, you know, in cultures where you would read right to left, that like the right edge is the first place where most people that naturally read that way are going to look. Like we look for information in the upper left corner where Germdove is hanging out, because that's where all the text starts for us. So that space has like greater priority because the eye is just like drawn to that like automatically when it's looking for information. Like built-in things about how like different languages and different like writing systems like influence the way we think about framing and cinematography and like theater and what we notice and look for. What's your favorite language, chat? I happen to be partial to English, but it's also the only one I know, so I would like to learn more. JavaScript, zing. Big zinger. You know, Shakespeare wrote a lot of his plays in early C++. Did you know that William Shakespeare added thousands of words to the JavaScript language? Hello world, for what is a world? A world but a human but a world, a life but a love. Okay, I'm just saying things now. Can we do a whole Shakespearean Super Mario World ROM hack? Can we do like SMW Canterbury Tales? Can we do ye old mushroomy kingdom, where yonder it's like morsel speak but make it more Shakespearean. If thee in yon dive and catch them falling of man. Make haste to yonder two-tile. To be or not to be, that is the question. All right, yeah, the next Romhack races will be a 3-act stage play. We'll start printing out the little pamphlets. We'll rent a theater like the Muppets. That would honestly kind of be super interesting to see someone try to turn Hamlet into a Mario World hack. And like, because like, how would you pull that off in such a way that like just wouldn't be like super cheesy and just be full of like, this is the play scene, now you're in it, you know? It's like, how would you even? Opera glasses? Yeah, but they're pandemic opera glasses, so they're in little plastic things and they're disposable, so you can throw them away when you're done. Yo, shout outs to these racers too. We got a race going on. We got Germdove, Seokadelic, Nathan MG, Ender Games, climbing the tower, working hard. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by the timer. I want to make this clear. These are skilled players playing other skilled players. This is 30 minutes for this is dang good, considering the density of tricks going on here. I'm serious, man. A 5 out of 10 level is not quite the stinger it used to be. Players are getting better. Nathan, ooh, good run though. You know what would almost fit better for a Shakespearean kind of vibe? Would be Legend of Zelda. You could almost get away with a really Shakespearean Zelda. Next time they have the unintended behavior marathon, we should get a troop of Kaizo players together, and we should do speed run, but it's a stage play. And it literally is just a play that we perform. There's a fan theory that says that the entire Mario canon is a fictional universe in the Zelda universe. Based on Link's Awakening stuff. And a lot of other stuff, because I've never dove that deep into the Zelda canon, because quite frankly, oh man, I don't even get it. I try. Yeah, something about that. There's like little Mario references that are hidden throughout, and it has caused folks to think that Mario is a fictional universe in Hyrule. Hyrule is real, and Mario is just a story that they tell. Yeah, even like the Chain Chomps and the other little things in Link's Awakening. And if you got to figure too, Link's Awakening, you know, was from a different time when all the canons and worlds were still kind of mashed up. So in truth, it's probably just they threw in some references to Mario, but it's a fun fan theory to think about. Oof, Germdove trying. I really like this obstacle that Nathan and Germdove are on. Scooting along on the saw. That's the new technical term for it. Ska scooting. Yeah, saw scooting. You could ska scoot if you want, but you got to pick it up when you're done. But surfing along on the saw and then having to land on the solid ground in order to break the spin while you're like under the thread of the saw. I like that. That's a nice little turnabout. A little change up. Ska scoot. Germdove with a chance. Too quick. Fenrir Wolf in the lower right. I do believe, yes, this is Shoujo's first Super Mario World level. First public release. I think Japanese characters look so beautiful. It's a very pretty looking language. A rabbit? Like one of those rabbits that live on the moon? I like those ones. That's way better mythological canon, too. I'm tired of the man on the moon. He's boring. Really is boring. Doesn't do anything. Bunnies on the moon all day. I like that. I accept that. I think that is true about this level. The difficulty is kind of a little bit more upfront, which is what you'd like to see. I think that's good design because it makes significant deep runs. It makes them matter. But a little bit more upfront with the difficulty this time. The first couple of jumps, especially that turn back, are pretty wicked. Standing in lava is always a cool thing. Here goes Nathan. Ooh, nice try. I like things like standing in lava because it's very classic. Oh, geez. We join Endless Ascent at the very, very end. Oh, they made it too fast. They have ascended. Look, they have. Behold, Endless Ascent has transposed this mortal realm. Betwixt the heavens and the earth doth the plumber reside, and I and his spirit may go peacefully. I'm just making up stuff. Good job. Well played. Mine friend Zaplex in the lower right. We got Zaplex and Nathan Co. Germdove. Yeah, GG, Endless. Too quick. Too quick. Nathan looking for a shot here. Careful jumping. All right. Nathan, MG in the door. Moving on to yonder Reznor. Behold, thine upthrown shell does nothing. Thou art foolish. Ye must learn the ways. Yonder big gaming going on. Avert thine eyes to yonder lower left corner of the screen. I think so far it has only been Louis who's managed to get the big time gaming cheese. To make the pilgrimage all the way to Cheeseton, to the Abbey at Cheeseton. And you know, when you're making a pilgrimage to Cheeseton, there's no better place to stop than Preposterous Professor Pete's Pizza Planetarium. That's right, come on down to yonder Preposterous Professor Pete's Pizza Planetarium, where you can exchange your gold coins for a ride on the mechanical jousting match. Blue Ribbon High Life, thanks for the raid. You know, the stream is brought to you by viewers like you. I want to go to one of those ye olden time restaurants. I never have gone in my whole dang life. I'm told they're stupid and they're not really like that fun, and that's exactly why I want to go. I'm not there to have an authentic time. I'm there to have a ye old silly time. I'm there to wear a silly plastic crown. Apparently it has really good food. I'm for it. Cool. If it's better than silly, that's even better. But I'm there to be a ye old fool and just have a silly time. There's not even one anywhere close to me. It's always kind of a bummer. All right, I lied. It's not always kind of a bummer. It's never been a bummer at all until right now when I've been thinking about it. That was an exaggeration. I also want to go to one of those really lovely Japanese coffee shops, like from an anime, where it's like just perfect and great. I feel like that's all of them. But they're so far away from me. Nathan, yo, check it out. Nathan MG making quick work of these Reznors. Got a nice little pattern. Nicely done. Nicely done. Nathan MG with the win. Well earned. Well earned. Sub-hour, too. Nicely done. There's only like 5 in Ye Olden Country. That's a ye old bummer. You know what? I'm just gonna make my own. I'm just gonna put on. You know what? I'm just gonna order a pizza and watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail. What's the difference? Let me ask you something. What's the difference? That's gonna be. We have medieval times at home. Medieval times at home. Yo, thank you very much for the raids. I hope everybody's doing well. If you're just joining us, this is Romhack Races. We do this every Saturday night as often as we can. We got a fresh Super Mario World Kaizo level that's never before seen by the racers, and they're all racing at sight read. You know, no knowledge of what's coming up other than a little bit of an assessment of the difficulty. Consistency and one-shots help win the day for our friends here. If you want to learn more, you can go to romhackraces.com. Check out the website. Check out this patch if you'd like to try this level for yourself. You don't have to be the race. You can just play anytime. They're a lot of fun to practice. And you can jump on the Discord as well over on the website. We also have the leaderboard there, brought to you by D to the 4th. That's D to the 4th on Patreon. Oh, you know, that's what else we could do. I could play the game Joust, and I could, like, eat a turkey leg. That would also suffice. Shells, yeah. Shells are a thing. Shells are a thing because I think a lot of people learn the standard shell jump. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. You know, people learn the standard shell jump, which is it's good to do. You know, everybody learns that one first. You jump up, you know, you do the full height jump. And then once it starts taking those same ideas and making them be controlled jumps, that's what really can kick shell levels and stuff into high gear and give you that extra notch of difficulty. It's easy enough to do like a nice, clean, regular shell jump, but then when you have to do a controlled back shot or just a lower kind of underhang type of shell jump, that's where it gets real tough. So props to those taking it on. Props to Shoujo for making it. Yo, Borgyman, nice. Yo, what's new in SMW Kaizo this week? Borgyman, I wouldn't know what's new in SMW Kaizo. I've been hiding on vacation, but Borgyman, congratulations on the release of Luminescence on SMW Central, the home of Super Mario World ROM hacking online since 2005. Go and check it out over on SMW Central. I will be very excited to play that as well. Looking forward to that. The thing about the back shot. Here's the thing about the back shot. The tricky thing about back shots, and maybe I'm wrong, I can't speak for everybody, but the tricky thing about back shots is that you have to be moving in a different direction than you're facing, right? You want to separate those two things. Movement and direction of travel and the way that you're facing. That is a controller trick. And that's a controller trick that you can practice almost anywhere at any time. It's something that I really think, along with regrabs, along with running and controlling your momentum, taking advantage of all the floor space to run alongside, that is a fundamental controller skill in Mario World and in other games. Mario World specifically, though, it's a fundamental skill. Don't not practice it. The thing to do is to figure out a way to just tap the other direction. Don't hold it. Don't press the button. Don't hold it down. Don't try to turn. I see people that, like, you turn and you lean so hard into the other direction. You've got to find a way to just gently tap that left or right, depending on the situation. Give it a gentle tap, and that way you preserve your rightward momentum, but now you're facing to the left, and now you can throw the shell for the back shot. The better that you get at preserving momentum in the opposite direction that you're facing, the better you'll be at all kinds of shell stuff, especially back shots, but like all kinds of throwing maneuvers and other stuff that I can't even think of right now. It's a fundamental controller skill, and I think it's one that gets overlooked a little bit because people are more focused on regrabs, which are easier to explain. Germ Dove. Oh no! Germ Dove. Ah, jeez. But yeah, I don't know. If you're looking for a fundamental, you're looking to like deeply improve your game, I would highly recommend separating your direction of travel from the direction you're facing. Those two things should always be able to be separated. Unless for some reason the level design has you locked in a particular way. Because that's the key, right? And the reason that works is, like, that's the key for back shots. Is, let's take the first back shot in this level as an example. You want all the rightward momentum. You want none of the left momentum. You just want to face to the left. And that's a way quicker tap. You could give it, what's, honestly, this is for Super Mario World tech heads in chat. What is the minimum amount of frames that you need to tap the opposite direction to actually turn around? It's 1, isn't it? Like a 1 frame, if you're moving to the right and you're facing right, a 1 frame tap to the left will turn you around to the left. Is that correct? It's got to be a super small frame window like that. I've never bothered to look into it. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's a way smaller window. If you want to face the other direction, all you have to do is just sneeze on the button. Well, don't sneeze on the button. Wash your controller if you do, but just breathe on it, and it flips you around to the left. And what that does is it preserves all your momentum. So the trick to get good at, while we watch Germ Dove take on the boss here, the trick to get good at is giving it that little tiny left tap, and then just go neutral. Don't touch anything. Just get a bunch of rightward momentum, jump up into the air, tiny little left tap, and then just go neutral. And now you're just cruising to the right without even pressing anything. And you can throw the shell backwards, and you can line that up. And it's easier than, like, leaning. Don't think of turnbacks like a lean. Think of it like a little brush, a little tap, little guy brush 3-wood. 1 frame unless you only just turned around. Okay. If you just turn, it's a few frames, like 5. Yeah, which is the reason that the no P speed flick mid-airs are rough, because there's a certain amount of time where you can't. But if you're in a normal situation, I guess the point I'm trying to get at, that's interesting, thank you. That information is good. But yeah, the point I'm trying to illustrate is just that you have to do such a small input to turn yourself around in most situations. And a mistake I tend to see people make is doing more of a heavier input than they need. CO, no. CO Cadelic, I saw the whole thing. They made all the jumps, and they got caught in the lava at the very end. Germ Dove with the win. CO with the disappointing walk back down to the bottom of the tower. Nicely done, though, Germ Dove. Quick work on that boss. I don't think, yeah, mid-airs aren't a thing that we're seeing a lot. Honestly, I'll tell you the real reason. I have a hunch. The real reason why we haven't seen as many required mid-airs or anything, because there are definitely players that can do it. I mean, one, it's a tough trick, obviously. No one's going to throw a mid-air in and expect, everybody to have an easy time with it. Even advanced players know that you're playing with fire when you put mid-airs in. But if you think about it, a lot of Kaizo level design, even in this level, do you notice that you never get P-speed here? I think the reason why mid-airs actually don't get put in as much as we might think or maybe makers would want is because in order to put a mid-air in, you have to also design a situation where the player is going to have P-speed. And so you have to give them a long horizontal to run from, or you have to give them some kind of block that immediately gives them P-Speed or something, which can feel weird and awkward. But there really are they're not there's not a lot of spaces where you do that. You give up a lot of real estate, so to speak, in your level design to make a run to go get P-Speed. It's not easy to do it organically. It's easy to make you do a bunch of surfs and then do a shell jump and then a couple other shell jumps and hit something, right? Because none of that requires the player to do that trick in any particular state that they already achieved. Using mid-airs is a lot like, honestly, kind of like using a cape, like cape tech, wherein, like, if you want to use a particular trick, like a mid-air sticky fly or something, you actually have to, like, give them a space to do that. You have to design the level around that trick rather than just sort of throw it in wherever you might see the need, such as a shell jump, which, you know, as much as we love shell jumps, yeah, it can get a little repetitious when it's just like, I don't know, throw a shell jump in. Like, yeah, you know, it's cop to that. But mid-air is a trick you have to, like, make a space for. And outside of Sheffy, shell physics, I think that's why we don't see them as much. I mean, heck, we see yumps from time to time, and nobody really seems to mind anymore. I mean, there's not, like, I haven't seen just really mean required yumps, but I've seen them. I've seen them in. Heck, I put one in Breakfast Kaizo too. Nobody even cared. Nobody. That was the one thing no one even took issue with. So that again is like, yumps are easier to design. All you got to do is stick a P-switch on a spike, and you make them you have made them do a yump. You don't have to give them a runway or anything. Yeah, that's another, good example. Optional switch jumps for moons. Right, because you got to get the moon. Well, good luck, Spud. Good luck, viewers. How are you? Hey, yeah, yo, speaking of which, I don't know who we've got coming up in the next couple of weeks, but tap that follow button gently. It's made out of porcelain and is easily broken, and I'm tired of having to glue it back together. So be gentle, tap it gently, but come back and see us every Saturday. We do these races at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we have a new level every week. Yeah, about that we did. We ended up having to delay the SMB2. We were going to do a doubleheader tonight. We ended up having to delay that in order to get the level in race-worthy shape. I would recommend, though, just for maybe your own enjoyment, and who knows where this knowledge may come in handy later, play some SMB2. There is a lot of interesting stuff there, and quite frankly, I say this on a personal level, but quite frankly, I would like to teach people more of the Kaizo stuff in SMB2 so that we can start making some levels that really lean into that kind of thing. Y'all haven't even seen Kaizo SMB2 yet in a true sense, but it's out there and it's really possible to do. The thing is that there are certain things about SMB2 when it comes to Kaizo that you just kind of have to know. And especially, here goes CO, upper right. Let's cheer for CO, though, real quick. I mean, not real quick. That's why we're here. Nice try. But there's certain things in SMB2 that you just kind of have to know. And add to that the difficulty of not being able to really indicate anything. You can use cherries or something to indicate, but it doesn't have coins, and it doesn't have message boxes, which message boxes go a long way to help explain. If there's just like one little thing that I want you to know about the level, I can just tell you in plain English. You don't get that luxury in SMB2. So if more players were aware of those types of things, we could then make more difficult SMB2 type levels. Imagine you have to teach the player a regrab, and you can't use text, and all you have is the level design. It's hard to do that, right? Like, what would you do? You just make a space where only a regrab works, and then hope that they figure it out? It's difficult. You know, it's difficult to teach players basic things where they're just, it's hard to show them with level design. ASM can do whatever we want. I would like to make a Learn to Kaizo for SMB2. README is also a possibility, yeah, that is true. But, you know, with sometimes halfway through the level, you want to show them, you want to rely on a technique that they should know. Vine jumping, double jumping, certain tech involving items, vegetable recycling. Those are 3 big ones. And then certain things involving just little ways you can move and crouch, and certain things that are possible or not possible. And so, like, the player just needs a little bit of a foundation, which, because not a lot of people have messed with SMB2, it's just not as known. You know, imagine Kaizo in a world where most of the players did not know about regrabs. They didn't know about shell jumps. They didn't know, for example, that, like, spin jumps worked on certain enemies. Imagine if most players in this didn't know that spin jumps worked on saws. You could teach them that, but at a certain point, you'd have to just make a situation and hope that they figure that out, because at a certain point, you just literally can't communicate anymore. And that's the issue that gets ran into with SMB2 sometimes, and that's the kind of thing that has held back the really, really difficult Kaizo stuff. Did you know, for example, that mid-airs are way free in SMB2, especially with Luigi? If you're just holding a shell, you can do a type of mid-air that isn't like the Mario World mid-air, but gets the same basic result. You jump off the shell, like literally jump. You have to actually do a jump input, because in SMB2, you don't bounce on shells, you stand on them. So you can do like mid-air jumps and all this weird stuff. Eventually, I hope that the player base gets there. You know, right now, I could make a 15 out of 10 SMB2 level that no one would have any idea what to do. And I'm not doing that yet for obvious reasons. And yeah, you get the 4 different characters, which essentially is 4 different physics systems. And that's a lot to kind of remember. Add to that the fact that something like a vine jump with Luigi has, I believe, a 7-frame window for vine jumps, whereas I believe Toad only has a 2-frame window. So the exact same situation with a different character would actually make a big difference in how, like, difficult the trick is on the whole. I can say for absolutely certain that, yes, I will eventually make really hard stuff in SMB2. And you might get to hear more info about that later. I'm basically, like, okay, I say this tongue-in-cheek, but I'm basically retiring to SMB2. Like, I still plan on making Mario World stuff, but there's going to be a Subcon 3. I'll put it that way. There's a lot to do with SMB2, and even completing Subcon 2 is still not going to be, like, the total depth of potential. I've encountered a lot of things and situations along the way that I can't challenge the player to do that yet, or else no one is going to beat the game right now. So what I might do is just make a really tough one and sit on it for a while until people get real good, or just make the toughest thing possible that's like years ahead of its time, and then just chill. I look at the speedruns personally. You know, I'm looking at like some of the tech ideas that Andrew G has had. You know, that's the origin of a lot of Kaizo stuff, is just the speedrun strat, but here it's forced. You know, the speedrun does use vegetable recycling. The speedrun does use vine jumps. The speedrun does use double jumps, I think. Yeah, in at least one area. And then add to that, there's a lot of stuff in Mario 2 that the vanilla game just wouldn't even let you do. There's a lot of different ways to teleport between screens that the speedrun uses that you could force for a Kaizo type of situation. Lots of different ways to climb vines, different situations where you can get stuck on a vine or climb down where you're not supposed to climb. And this is all kind of drawn from the speedrun. Ender of Games! Ender of Games, no! So close. But the thing is, you know, I can be a Lone Ranger over here and make all the difficult SMB2 stuff all day, but it's not going to do anything if folks don't want to play that, you know. Or if, you know, I can make something that, you know, maybe myself, Andrew G, and some of the SMB2 runners, Cool Kid, can beat. But, you know, everyone else would have a really tough time with it. You know, imagine dropping something like... Imagine dropping a level like this into 2006 Mario World hacking. You know what I mean? Like, stack this up against Luigi's Adventure. This looks ungodly impossible compared to the state of... That's where SMB2 hacking kind of is right now. Is like, the potential is there. A couple... Not even just myself. There are a couple of makers who definitely have the tech knowledge, you know, to make something difficult, like really difficult. But it's just not... There's just not a player base for that right now. But the good news is that a lot of the stuff from Subcon 2 and other works that I've seen people working on is just fire. And if the interest is there, people will learn it. And the more you learn, the more we'll be able to do with it. I'm not even trying to brag, but I'm just like, I'm several years ahead of what is like possible with the tech in this game. You know, I could make something that like would frustrate just about everybody, but I hope to like have that not be the case later. Yo, Misha Vargas on the Reznor. CO Kadelic, no! CO trying. You can kind of hear the frustration. Fenrir Wolf in the upper left. CO Kadelic, Ender of Games, and Misha Vargas. Yeah, I don't know about that, Endless. I was saying, you know, when it comes to SMW and other games where the interest is there, SMW is our particular example, is that, yeah, I mean, what a 5 out of 10 Romhack Races level doesn't quite have the sting that it used to. You know, players are getting better, and as such, a 4 is a little bit easier than it used to be. I think honestly, if I had to venture a guess, I would honestly say that players, like, the scale goes down by about half a point like every year. You know what I mean? Like a 4 used to be really tough. A 4 nowadays, or like a 5 nowadays, is like it would have been a 6 or a 7 maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And what is a 4 now might be a 2 or a 3 or something. And that's a good example too. You know, we're playing a Shoujo level. Shoujo, who recently conquered partner Fennel with a big E-ha howdy, and that hack is ridiculous. That hack is absolutely ridiculous. Even compared to Kaizo 3. Right, I remember a time when Kaizo 1 was impossible. No one plays Kaizo 1. And now, in less time, people are beating this kind of stuff, right? Casio, studies of a broken engine, things that are just ridiculous, and it's a result of the skill ceiling rising so much and the availability of information that a lot of times it's kind of like where SMB2 is right now, is that just the information isn't out there. How to do a peach refloat just isn't widely known. Even though it's a pretty basic fundamental tech, it's just, you just don't really have the opportunity to learn that. There's no situation where you would need that. I don't even think the vanilla speedrun uses that property at all. Or they might in an all peach run or something, but the more people have access to that information, the more you see relatively newer players being able to conquer stuff that it took players who were hanging around longer than that, right? I've spent most of my life with SMW, and Casio was ridiculously hard for me. And these are players who, like, are just able to conquer that right away, man. It's fascinating. Misha Vargas, yo, looking for the clear here. Yeah! Nicely done, Misha Vargas. Woo! GG. Oh, yo, get some smiles in chat. Big partner smile for Misha Vargas. Nicely done. And I would agree with that, Mato Chips. I think the skill ceiling sits far above Casio. Far above. It's just the problem is that at a certain point, well, at a certain point, a few problems arise. It's kind of like, honestly, it's kind of like the problems with creating smaller and smaller microprocessors. We got Silent Snake over on the lower right. Fenrir Wolf, CO, Ender of Games, hanging out here. But it's kind of like the, and granted, I don't know the tech or the hardware that well. I'm speaking in uneducated layman's terms. But that, like, as you try to make a smaller and smaller processor, at a certain point, it's as small as it's going to get. And we need to do, like, quantum computing and stuff. That there's only so many possible transistors that you could fit into this before it's just, you just can't anymore. And so the way the skill ceiling goes, like, above Casio, you certainly can, but you run into a couple of issues. Is that in order to be harder than Casio, you have to almost specialize. You have to do something like Studies of a Broken Engine that requires, I mean, Studies of a Broken Engine is way harder than Casio. I think that is easy to see. And why is that harder? Because it requires such a ridiculous depth of technical information about the game. It gets to that point by just specializing. Midair Mastery, TJB's mod cape level. You know, these things are wildly specialized, and that's what pushes them over the edge. At a certain point, you know, Casio is a game of fairly reasonable platforming. I mean, you know, there's some gimmicks and stuff, but there's a lot of what you would call classic Mario platforming. It isn't hard because of item abuse, a ton of spring jumps, motor skills, mid-airs, and everything. You're doing pretty classic Mario World stuff, and I think that contributes to the well-deserved popularity of the game. At a certain point, the only way to make classic Mario platforming any more difficult is to start doing this ridiculously unpalatable kind of stuff. Not to say that Casio is, it's not. But the only way to make it harder is to add needle jumps and reaction times lower than a couple of frames. You only have 2 frames to react to. That's it. What else do you do? Right? So at a certain point, it's kind of we're approaching that line of TAS only, where everything is a low frame window input and release the button for only this many frames and stuff. And we're never actually approaching it, but you wander into this area where, like, it's specialized in some way in order to get out above that a little bit. So I don't know if we're ever going to see, it's hard, a ton of people clearing something like midair mastery or something. Not to say that they can't, but just that at a certain point you're specializing. And I'm interested to see what the player base does. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm interested. Is the player base going to specialize more, or are they going to find a new way? At a certain point, too, you know, you're running up against the literal muscles in your hands. You know, humans can only be so precise before it's like some, forgive the expression, some weird little chemical imbalance in the way your brain chemistry and muscles are working is going to cause you to miss that 60th of a second of reaction time. You know, at a certain point, the hardest level in the world is just 100 mid-airs in a row. 100 no P-speed mid-airs, right? So it's like, how do you make something interesting that is as hard as 50 yumps in a row without actually being 51 frame inputs in a row? You know? Where do you draw the line? Because at a certain point, you're sacrificing that, or that's the puzzle. At a certain point, you seem to have to sacrifice interesting design for difficult design. Where is that line? That's what makers are working with. That's why it's really impressive when someone, you know, comes up with something new for it. There's plenty more new things to do. Ender of Games, you know, well-deserved, making their way into the Reznor. Ender of Games, fighting for their life. I hope there is, Spud. I hope there is, and I hope that we can help with that. I'm definitely not saying don't do the niche things. My only question is, how big will that niche ultimately become? We've seen the skill ceiling in general in Kaizo rise to the point where what was feared and respected years ago, Kaizo 3, Search for Salmon, Kaizo 3 especially, which was feared and respected. I was the 6th to beat that game, and that was like 2017 or 16 or 18 or something. Like, hasn't been that long. And now it's just like, oh yeah, Kaizo 3, it's hard, but yeah, you know, you'll win. And we've seen the skill ceiling rise like that. I guess my question is how much of that is going to spill over into niche specializations. Are we going to wake up in a couple of years and there are 50 more players that are just dropping no P-speed mid-airs like it's nothing, you know? Or playing something like Mod Cape. Are we going to see more of that, or are we going to see the community take a different route? I'm curious. I don't know. I'm not trying to prescribe any action here. I'm just generally curious. Yeah, it's that how mainstream. You know, because at a certain point, we're not going to be clearing item abuse 3. I've been wrong about just about everything like this in the past, and I'm glad about that. But I maintain that I don't think we're ever going to see an RTA clear of item abuse 3. There is a certain line. And again, you know, how do you make it interesting? Because we could all make the most difficult level in the world right now just by making 100 yumps in a row. There, you did it. 101 frame tricks. And really, when it comes to tight platforming and tight situations, what's the difference between 100 yumps in a row and 100 different situations, all with a 1-frame timing, right? Whether or not you're jumping off of a P-switch or landing on a brown block and getting out of the way of a spike or a fish, if you have the same frame window, it kind of all washes out, doesn't it? You know, so how do makers keep the difficulty ceiling interesting instead of just dropping back on? Because we all know if you want to make something harder, just make a bunch of 1-tiles, right? It's easy to make things hard. I don't know where I'm getting with this. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of rambling. How are you? How's the kids? Yeah, I do wonder about that, you know. You know, you say mentally we're capable of going further than we can physically. I do wonder about that because I'm sure I'm not alone in this. You know, if for those that have played a lot of games or have excuse me, have played a lot of Kaizo, or you know, things like that. I mean, I think you can understand that you get to that point where you're not really thinking about your hands anymore. You're just holding the controller, and you kind of like think at the game. I wonder what would that, I don't know, what would that even feel like? That's a strange future. Yeah, and that's the real challenge, I think, for makers and players, Spud, is, you know, how do you, exactly how you said it, how do I push the boundaries but also make people want to play it? Exactly. No one's gonna want to play a 50 yump level. I mean, and granted, I'm not complaining, but I've had it hard enough. There's not a lot of people that want to play Double Dragon, the last Various Dragons level I put out. A couple people do. I appreciate that. I'm not upset, not complaining. But, you know, how do you, right? Because at a certain point, you can either make it hard or make it accessible. At a certain point, you got to trade something. You have to make that trade. So it's kind of like, just those two things can't mutually coexist. You know, to be honest with you, I don't know if I would want to play with cyborg hands. I don't know. I don't know how that would be. Like, I think about doing a yump, you know, and I'm looking at Mario. I'm looking at Mario's feet. And I go up in the air, and then I'm watching for that one, you know, I'm like trying to anticipate the moment where Mario's feet are going to come down and touch the top of that P-switch. And I'm waiting, and I'm trying to anticipate, right? You tend to press the button a little ahead of time because I know that the hands are going to be quicker than the eye, right? So I press it ahead of time because I know that, like, my reactions are going to be just slow by default. I don't know, how would that feel to not have that, right? It would almost just be like some kind of, like, every time you touch a P-switch, you jump. Like, if I'm not playing with my hands, then what am I looking at? Is it like what is checking to make sure I did it and not just giving it to me for free? Like, I'm not sure. I guess I'm not sure how cyborg hands would help me do one-frame tricks. Right? Like, would they? We can do that with tasks. We can program a robot to press the buttons. I bet you could program, like, a task bot that would, like, hold the controller as a human would and, like, mechanically do those inputs. Ender, yo, I'm sorry, we got a task bot here already. Ender of Games, tasking it with their robot cyborg hands and Fremen eyes from the future that see all possibilities. Ender of Games for the win. GG. Cyborg hands with macros. That's wild. That's just that's a whole wild realm. That's a wild future, and I wonder. I hope I live to see the day. Yo, Zaplex coming back in the lower left. Fenrir Wolf, Ceocadelic, Zaplex, and Silent Snake. Wait, Duck Hunt AI? Do tell. Or are you just fooling around? Yeah, I dig that too, Endless. I guess it's kind of hard to tell sometimes when it comes to the really tight frame windows. Was it me? Or was it my hands? You know, you tend to think, oh, okay, you know, I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe it is. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is the muscles, for sure. Is it? You know, how do you really know, though? How do you really know if it was your reaction time or if it was your hands. It's not like the game tells you or gives you any feedback. Whoa! Really? You make AIs for classic games. Halfway through Duck Hunt right now. That is really cool. I would personally love to check out more of your work. So if mods, if you could let them post a link or something. If you have like a page, I could check that out. I would love to see more about that. Tetris AI would be super cool. That is really neat. Thanks for sharing that. That is really cool. You know, a game I would like to see an AI for very much would be Frostbite on Atari 2600. That is a cool game. I think AI would be very interesting to see what AI would do. That is really neat, though. Love to see Tetris AI. Can you, like... Wow, that's super cool. That's really cool. That I'm excited about. I think a little bit more than cyborg robot hands would be to see what AI does with some games. And I'll repost your link for you, too. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for that share. That is super neat. I'm gonna tab this open for later. Block jumps are easier to know. I can't find fault in that. I still don't know though. Maybe it's just a me thing as a player. It's hard to know sometimes. Was it me or was it my hands? SMW AI would be pretty far out. I've seen a little bit of stuff where they like teach those neural networks to play Mario World and stuff. I know in the past, I think Decula actually messed around with trying to teach a neural network how to play Kaizo, and it did not go very well. I mean, there was an effort made, but the network didn't really learn very much. I think Frostbite would be a difficult game for a neural network to learn too, because it's weird how you would measure progress. Oh yeah, Mario. I do remember that, yeah. Oh, you know, look into Frostbite if you want to. I'm just making conversation. And yeah. The difference between basically just kind of memorizing your way through and being able to think at it. And honestly, I would agree with that too, Spud. I like the feeling of hands on controller. I don't know how much I would want robot hand. I think better, you know what, if they can make robot hands, why can't they just make like a fix your muscles cream? You know what I mean? Like if we can make cyborg hands, why can't we just like do a really good job like strengthening and healing the physical muscles already? I mean, maybe that's harder for some reason, but I would rather just have impervious hand cream than like cyborg hands. I am very curious to see what AI would eventually do with Mario. Oh, I'm sorry, Zaplex did something sweet. My bad. I missed it. Wait, Mario's a maze game? I guess it kind of is, isn't it? That's an interesting way to... I've never heard Mario called a maze game before. Because when you say maze game, I think of something like Galaga or Ladybug or Make Tracks or something. But it is kind of a maze game, isn't it? That's silly. I like that. That's funny because it's true. I always figure, why don't the bowlers just throw the ball directly at the pins? They try to minimize contact with the lane as much as possible and just chuck the ball so it like doesn't touch the lane. I feel like that would be the way to really win at bowling. That would be the cheese strat. You had a friend who did exactly that, and were they the best bowler of all time? Yes, my friend Reginald Bowlerton, champion bowler. I can't imagine. Yeah, that would be a bit scary. Yeah, just pitch it. Just like softball. Just pitch it right down the lane. Kapow. C.O. Kadelic. We need the redemption. No! We need the redemption. Well, you need a lot of strength to do that, or you just need a really small bowling ball. As far as I've understood, they have all sorts of weights of bowling balls, and no one was like, "Hey, you have to play with the heavy." Why don't you just play with like a softball-sized bowling ball? Bring it in one of you could carry it in one of those little, like a change purse, instead of like one of those heavy bowling ball bags. You could carry it in a little fanny pack. You'd be the best. I'm telling you. You want to cheese bowling? This is how. I'll give you some tips, Chaos. If you want to get into Kaizo and you want to learn more stuff, I'll tell you what feels really fun and really cool. Invictus is a tough one to start with. It's very difficult. Play through the vanilla game and just try to do some of the tricks you've seen. You've seen a lot of cool stuff. You've seen shell jumps. You've seen saw surfing. You've seen like ball and chain surfing, landing on thwomps in midair. You can do all that stuff in the vanilla game. It's just it's not required Kaizo setup. It really can be fun, though. Or even go to the vanilla game and just learn how to do orb glitch or just some basic kind of Yoshi tongue swapping. Stuff like that. There's a ton of really fun tricks you can learn. And as an added bonus, you're helping yourself get better at Kaizo anyway. A lot of people that play Kaizo now, way back when, all we had was the vanilla game, so you just do shell jumps in the vanilla game. Just play vanilla like a Kaizo game. Play vanilla, but never touch the ground. Make up a silly rule for yourself. Play small only. Play vanilla, but you always have to carry a shell. Vanilla, I like don't touch the ground. Play vanilla SMW, but try to play like the floor is lava. And then just try to never touch. I mean, some situations you might have to touch the ground. You got lava boots on, don't worry about it. But doing things like that will help you with your essential Kaizo skills. Bouncing on combinations of enemies, regrabs, shell jumps. Just play floor is lava. Exactly. Yeah, you don't lose any progress. You just have to try again. Yeah, you can do cape tutorial too. That's pretty far out, man. Bowling really gets to a place that I never knew or understood. I liked Wii U bowling. Yeah, I did. It was fun. I had a good time. Or not Wii U bowling, just Wii bowling. Sorry, Wii U bowling. Nah. Wii bowling. Yeah. I like trying to play Wii tennis against myself. Play both sides. Oh, Wii U did have bowling? Oh, I didn't even know. I had like one game on Wii U, and it was Mario Maker. Oh, and Mario 3D World. That was like actually it. Oh, and Tropical Freeze. Yeah, man, who's playing Wii U these days? It's just weird how quickly that system just vanished. Yeah, Brighton. Yeah, we don't have Wii Sports on Nintendo Switch, do we? We have Mario Golf though. That's a sports. I just really felt like the Wii U gamepad was really awkward to hold. I just never got like, I never accepted it as the controller. That'd be fun if we all made Charge and Chuck style football jerseys. Oh man, why isn't there a Mario Bowling? There hasn't been a Mario Bowling. There hasn't been Mario Hockey. Mario Curling. Obviously. Or maybe there's been curling at the Olympic Winter game. Mario Parkour, that's Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Rock Climbing. What's the best sport that should exist as a Mario game? What do we do? I mean, they got the go-karts. Mario Bowling is good. There is a Mario Baseball. I miss that trend. That seemed to be more of a thing of just like taking your mascot and putting it in a sport game. Like, come on, Mega Man Soccer. Mega Man Soccer. Mario skateboarding actually would be pretty cool. Mario Party 8 had a bowling game. That's all well and good, but I bet it only lasted for like a minute. That's my problem. Out there, I said it. That's my problem with Mario Party, is you don't get to play enough game. You just get a little bite-sized. It's like someone took a fun-sized candy bar and cut it in half, and then wrapped it back up and gave it to you. and was like, "That's enough candy, right?" No, it's not. Obviously, it's not. I've never been. I don't know. I've never been able to vibe with mini games. WarioWare, another one. It looks great. It's fun to watch other people play it, but I just don't get to. You don't get to do that much. It's just like you do something for 40 seconds and then you just hang out and then do something else. Mario WWE Wrestling. That's pretty funny. That would be cool if we could have a little custom Mario that was riding a skateboard, and then you put the custom skateboard Mario into your Romhack, and then skateboard Mario has like button combos that you can do to do tricks. Like they don't affect the level or anything. You just do tricks and get points for it. So like you can do a kickflip or whatever, or a 360 flip or whatever. Varial heel flip, you name it, and then you can like play the level, but the point of it is to like see how many style points you can get by like unnecessarily pressing other buttons. So like while you're doing the saw surf, you're also like doing the kickflip combo to get yourself points. There's a way to make games difficult and more complex that doesn't necessarily require just low input tricks everywhere. It's just density of inputs. Radical Rex. What system was that on? That's a Super Nintendo game, isn't it? Huh. I recall the name. I have to check that out. It sounds fun. There were already some good snowboarding games, though. What, the 1080? That was a fun game. I played that a bit. I like that game. SXX. Tricky. Well, I just want to direct your attention back to the racers for a second. We got about 20 minutes to go on this broadcast. We got Fenrir Wolf, Seocadelic, Zaplex, and Silent Snake. Everybody working on the same section. There's only one section. It is this. And looking to fight that Reznor at the end. If you're having fun and you'd like a little bit more SMW Kaizo in your life, go and follow some of the racers. They are excellent. They are trying to get their names out there a little bit. Many of them stream. And you can go and say, hey, on their channel. I know they would appreciate that. Say like, hey, I saw you on Romhack Races. You did great. That makes, seriously, makes somebody's day. There's no shortage of excellent, excellent Kaizo content in our community. So drop a follow for the racers and Shoujo too, if you are enjoying the content of this level. Yo, Romhack Races tester, nom 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 nom. How's it going? Super Mario Darts. Darts is so annoying. I don't know anyone that's good at darts. I don't think anyone is. Darts is so hard. That's so I rage quit darts. The game of darts. I used to live somewhere with somebody that was pretty alright at it. Pretty good, I guess. And they had a dartboard and they like taught me how to play. And I practiced my skills for a while and I actually rage quit darts. Darts is frustrating. I thought I would be good at it. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna be good at this game. I learned all the, the points and the way you have to play it and stuff. And, man, I tried to get good. I actually literally rage quit darts. I just can't deal with it. I don't even dislike the game. I just rage quit. I just freaking rage quit. What about Super Mario Bumper Pool? CO. Come on, CO. Come on, CO. Nah! Super Mario MMA. That's basically Smash Brothers. The last Dorito. Last Dorito. Thanks for sharing a super comfy Saturday night with us. Yo, Silent Snake in the lower right with a shot at the end. Let's go. Oh, no. The last Dorito. Yeah, daylight savings time is today, isn't it? What did we do? We fall behind. CO, no, my gosh, they got it. I thought they were dead. I thought that freeze of them going in the door was the freeze of being killed. Wow. That's got to be on one of the last possible frames. Nicely done. Really great door entry. CO Kadelic moving on to the Reznor fight. If you haven't seen it, you got to shell jump up and hit the Reznor from below, avoiding the fire. Silent Snake, yo, 2 for 2. Oh, close. Almost. What is it about that jump that seems to be wrecking people? It's a minor regrab. I believe that's what is going on there. That 3 spike jump at the end. You have to do just a enough of a regrab. Not a great, not a perfect regrab, but just do one. And I think what is going on is that people are assuming they just need to be moving fast enough, and they don't regrab because of that assumption. That's my guess. Just watching it. So we're looking for a clear from CO. I don't think they'll be long. Fenrir, Wolf, Zaplex, and Silent Snake doing well. Gotta give shoutouts to Silent Snake, too. Recently conquered Return to Subcon. GG. Big Subconian GGs. You know, I actually got an idea. I was trying to build this obstacle. I was trying to build this screen for Subcon 2. It just wasn't working. I just couldn't get it. And I actually got the idea for it. I solved it last night in a dream. And I woke up today, and yep, that is definitely the solution. I literally built it in a dream. That's the first time I can honestly say that a particular obstacle I've built came to me in a dream. Looking back on it, it was just something I could have put together, but something about dreaming makes you recombine things in new ways. Silent Snake, no! They're so close. Oh, cut down. Most of the time, that's how it works for me too, Endless. This time it happened to not work that way. I hope you get lucky sometime. Wait a minute, I can't put lasagna in my Romhack? What was I thinking? Look, the patch file can't be made out of delicious chocolate. What is this? Taffy fishing, boo? What was I thinking? I want to make a candy ROM hack. You just download it, and instead of playing a Kaizo game, you just get some delicious candy. It's the ROM hack that's made out of candy. Nice job, Sio. Well played. That was well earned. And under the 2 hours. Nicely done. Sio Kadelic. That's twitch.tv/CO_Kadelic. Borgyman already did that. They made a Garfield Mario crossover. Just all kinds of silly. And then there were 3. Fenrir Wolf, Silent Snake, Zaplex. Silent Snake getting real close here. Maybe this is it. Ugh, too fast. Yeah, yo, get your favorite Shoujo emote in chat. Go and check Shoujo's stream out for more excellent Kaiser Mario. Fenrir Wolf. Yo, good run. Let's go. Oh! Come on, Silent Snake. Nice. Nicely done. Silent Snake, I had the opportunity to watch them play Return to Subcon for a little while over the weekend, and I've got to say they impressed me with their gameplay. They are a quick learner. I noticed that about their gameplay. They really just they get with the program, and they understand and say, oh, okay, this is what you do, and then they're just quick to assimilate that knowledge. I appreciate that. If you're looking for a new friend over on Twitch, Silent Snake 20. I know they've been playing a lot of Kaizo lately. Silent Snake, though, doing work. This is a great way to practice your shell jumps. Sometimes it seems like all you're doing is grinding the level. You're not getting any better. Nothing's ever changing. You're just grinding and grinding and never gets any better. But what you might not notice is, like, when you get done with that, your fundamentals improve drastically. Case in point, Shoujo's recent clear of partner Fennel, by the end of that, she was good to begin with, right? I don't mean this as a backhanded compliment, but by the end, her movement fundamentals were tight. And it's like you don't necessarily realize sometimes that you're improving your skill. It doesn't look like you've improved anything until you finally break through and beat it. Take the opportunity to find those moments to practice your fundamentals, to realize that this obstacle in particular can be broken down to just a system of fundamentals that you can improve upon. I mean, all levels can, but you know what I mean. Oh, Fenrir, nice try. Nice try. What's up, Real Big Chaos? Nice to see everybody for a little bit. Like I said, I've been taking a little bit of an extended vacation, kind of mental health vacation for a week or so from streaming. I feel pretty rested. I feel good. I hope everybody's had a restful week. Thanks for still being around. I'm planning on coming back either tomorrow night or Monday night, depending on how I'm feeling. Probably maybe Monday, but I may stream tomorrow. Just a nice little rest. Forget how important that is sometimes. I've been getting great sleep, too. Oh, man, let me tell you what. Oh, Fenrir Wolf, that was so good, though. We got about 5 minutes to go. We schedule about 2 hours for these broadcasts. Hoping for some clears. I think Silent Snake's got it. Zaplex and Fenrir are too close. Just got to get over that last little bump. Hey, there it is. Nicely done. Silent Snake within the 2 hours too. A solid player. I think I'm gonna give Silent Snake rather. I'm gonna give them 10 cool points for today because I think they're a player to watch out for. Keep your eye on Silent Snake. I think they're gonna do great things. Fenrir Wolf and Zaplex hanging out with us. I don't know if I have any, I'm trying to think of any announcements in particular or anything. If you're looking for a new hack to play, there's always SMW Central, the internet's primary source for Super Mario World ROM hacking since 2005, boasting an impressive collection of Super Mario ROM hacks and historical curiosities, as well as ASM resources, music, and so much more on SMW Central. Silent Snake, yo, thank you for the raid. GG, well played. Fenrir Wolf, this is it if they can get it. Yeah, all right. Yo, Zaplex 2, come on, 2 for 2 on the checkpoint. Let's go. Let's go. We want to see it. We want to see it. We want to see it. Let's go, Zaplex. Yeah! Yeah! Let's go! All right, that was awesome. That was excellent. Yo, that hardly ever works out when I say that like that. Oh, that's wonderful. Zaplex and Fenrirwolf down to the wire. Final section. Let's go. Yo, big time gaming. I love that. That was great. That's why we do what we do. And speaking of why we do what we do, if you would like to be a part of the Romhack Races community, we are always looking for level makers, volunteers, friends, and helpers. Join our Discord server, and if you're interested in participating or making a level for one of our open spots, we have signups and volunteer sheets that you can fill out. Yo, this is it. Final boss, final 2 racers. Hey, I like the multi-hit 5 Reznor shell jump boss. I like them. I think they're good friends. It's not just pink, it's neon pink. Zaplex trying to place their shots so well. We are taking it into overtime. As they say, wave your hands in the air if you feel fine. We're going to take it into overtime. Welcome to the Space Jam. We want to get both these racers out of here tonight. We want to show you the best that our community has to offer. So we're going to give it a little bit of extra innings here. An intro shell hack. Yeah, I heard about this Shoujo collaboration. That's hard to say. Say that 10 times fast. I'm excited to see what comes of that. Ooh, a sneak. This is it. This is the sneak. Nice. It's better than the game Sneak and Peek on Atari. Oh, now it's not intro. Now it's just a shell hack. Sweet. I, for one, welcome our new shell hack overlords. One thing about these Reznor fireballs is that they do, to some degree, target you. They are trying to shoot at you. So that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing, obviously, because it's coming right at your face. But it's a good thing because you know that it's coming right at your face. And so because you know that, just get out of the way. Just don't put your face there, forehead. And I know that sounds really corny and silly, but that is the way to do it. You know, your movements guide the projectiles. And in any situation, there's a billion games that have that. And in any situation where that is the case, you have to play offensively. You have to play offensively, not reactively, not defensively. If you're reacting, you're always a step behind. They're always going to shoot at you, and then you try to get out of the way. You have to get a step ahead, and you have to guide the fireballs. Be where they want you to, where you want them to shoot. If you are going to go to the right, run to the left, get them to shoot to the left, and then make your move to the right. You have to think a couple of, 1 or 2 moves ahead. Where do I want to go, and then where do I want to draw the projectiles to? And if you're good, right, you'll be able to separate those 2 things, and you'll have a way easier time guiding projectiles around. Trying to play a situation like this defensively is a recipe for just disaster. To get killed by something in a kind of a way that feels cheap. Fenrir Wolf down to 2. No, is that 1? That is 2. 2 Reznors remain. It gets a little easier, yeah, because there's less fire on the screen. Fenrir Wolf needs 1 more hit here. Zaplex down to 3 Reznors. Oh, was that a hit? Dang, are they both going to clear on this exact attempt? I would love that. Fenrir Wolf got it. Nicely done. GG. It's all your turn, Zaplex. Yo, preemptively. I love that. Yo, I think they're going to get it. I think they're going to get it. I think they're going to clear on the exact same attempt. There it is. Yo. Oh, I love this. Fenrir Wolf and Zaplex had a great little thing going on. And that is it tonight. That is everybody clear. We did it. Y'all did it. It was great. And you were there. And that was awesome. Thank you for being a part of it tonight. Big shout outs to all the racers. Y'all did tremendously well. Big shout outs, of course, to Shoujo over on twitch.tv/that username, Shoujo. She is very kind and cool. Check her stream out for some Super Mario Kaizo stuff, Maker, SMW, and everything in between. Some Zelda, too, I've seen. Check out the racers. Give them a follow. There are many cool people in our community. We're going to throw it over to Shoujo, and we're going to say hey to her, see how she's doing tonight. We will be back next week. Thank you so much. Fenrir Wolf, great job. Awoo crew. Y'all did very well. Thank you for the race. Thanks for being a part of it. Check out more over on romhackraces.com. Jump on our Discord server. We'll see you next week for another fun race. I have been GlitchCat. Thank you to my community for hanging out. I hope y'all are having a great week. I will see y'all probably Sunday or Monday, depending on how I'm feeling. It's been a really nice rest, and got a lot of good motivation. So I am not going to be too far away. I will see you soon. You matter. Your thoughts matter. Your heart matters. Your feelings matter. You matter to other people in your lives, and you matter to me as human beings. Abustis. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Excuse me. We know Black Lives Matter, LGBTQIA plus lives matter, Indigenous lives matter, disabled lives matter. You too. And I will see you again on Sunday or Monday. I'll see you back here again on Saturday. Keep hacking the planet. Gesundheit.